With a streak like that, I can't just waltz into the main event. With a streak like that, the only way I can get a championship match is to like win the Money in the Bank briefcase or survive the Elimination Chamber. Or, I mean, you'd have to win the Royal Rumble.
In Indianapolis.
Okay, wait a minute, crazy idea, but maybe I can win the Royal Rumble.
Get ready! We'll say get ready. Get ready for the worst raw review on the internet. The worst raw review on the internet. Straws, raw. And fresh roast beef. This is Straws Raw. Straws Raw.
Hello, friends, listeners, and newcomers. It's me, Eric B. They call me the Raw Dog, the Netflix Raw Dog. And I am here on the Huge Pop Radio Hub with my buddy doing the Straws Raw review. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me. And like I said, my pal, my PIC, my puppy in crime, my little schnauzer. It's Randy C. Randy, swear at the people or not.
Fuck yeah, asshole. Welcome to the Netflix era. Hey, everybody. Hey, Eric B. It's me, Randy C. And as usual, we're powered by something. We are powered by Huge Pop Radio. Join Donnie and Jimmy every Wednesday night, 11 p.m. on TSN 690 with Huge Pop as they discuss this week's wrestling, news, rumors, interviews, pops and flops. That's Huge Pop Radio. Or go to www.hugepopradio.com and download all their previous episodes. Powered by Steve Swift's Rambling NXT reviews, also found on the Huge Pop The Hub. Facebook.com/Huge Pop Radio The Hub, where you can get all Steve Swift's Rambling NXT reviews. As well as the new show, Ringside 5 with George Mackay and Michelle Arujo. Yes, Ringside 5, where they give you their top 5 whatever of the weeks. Pretty good. Started this last Sunday and it's coming out. You got 3 more weeks already in the bag. Hope you guys enjoy it. As well as THT, the Handshaking Team, where you can get your finest collectibles, toys, raffles, Razzies, everything there. Go to facebook.com/the Handshaking Team and join Eric B almost on a daily basis and get your fine products. As well as Chiquita Bananas. Why, Minoru?
Monkeys never collapse.
No, they never cramp, and we don't eat bananas for the taste. We eat them for the shape. Eric B., welcome to the Netflix era.
The Netflix era has started and it is in full swing, folks. It is exciting. It is new. There's going to be giant sheets covering everything going forward. And the reveals are going to be epic. No, honestly, guys, I got to say, for all the hype that we had leading up to this first Raw on Netflix and what we got from WWE, I'm pretty freaking happy. I'll just say that much. Not everything can be perfect. We'll talk about what we liked and what we did not like. But I'll tell you, most of it, especially leading up to the start of the show itself, Everybody had the same chills that The Rock had as he walked out to the Intuit Dome. The Intuit Dome in LA. Listen, Randy, the Clippers and the Lakers, they used to both play at the Staples Center. The Clippers didn't have their own home. You know who owns the Clippers? Steve Ballmer. You know who Steve Ballmer is, right?
Know him very well.
All right. Well, Steve Ballmer has made the absolute most technologically advanced arena of all time. And this is where the first Raw happened, and it wasn't a better place to have happened. This was fully equipped to give us something new, something unique, real fight feel, whatever you want to call it. It was definitely there. And as everything was starting, I realized to myself, I said, look, not only are they saying that we are entering the Netflix era, but I think that we are actually entering a potential rival of other great eras, such as the Attitude Era and the Golden Era. Randy, do you think with Netflix, we are entering a Platinum Era?
Platinum. That's a good way to put it, Eric. You've been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks, eh? Yeah, definitely. This is definitely a new era, Platinum Era, a spectacle era, a spectacle of sports entertainment, like the boxing Tyson versus Paul, the spectacles that are going on. But here, not just in the States, but WWE is going to bring it around the world. Was last night a spectacle? 100%. It gave us chills, like Eric said. Our hairs were standing. My big toe, the hairs on that little knuckle were standing straight, and when they were done, they were permed because they were straight for so long. They curled up, that's what I mean, when the excitement ran off. But yes, what a great way, what great promotion they did up for this, up to this point, and what a sight we did see last night. Going into it, the Netflix era, people can experience the Netflix era on different levels. And I think we figured this out last night.
Yes, we did. Randy messaged me last night. He's like, hey, are you getting ads? And I noticed as I actually signed in and went in to watch the live stream, it asked me to opt into watching a program that is powered by ads. I thought it was strange because I have the premium subscription. So I thought to myself, okay, this makes sense. We've been talking about this for a while. How are they going to do this? How are they going to throw commercials in? So I wasn't sitting back there like, oh, gosh, darn you commercials, you bastards. Like, it didn't really affect me that much. And once I finally got to my first commercial, it was just a video package. Any adverts that I got were maybe like 5 seconds long at best. And then I would go into some video packages about WWE, about NXT New Year's Evil, which is going to be happening, today also on Netflix at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Randy was telling me that he's getting all types of different things. He's getting game show ads up the yin-yang, it seems.
Oh, 100%. I was getting Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, everything else like this, Rush Prime ads. And you knew there was like, even during the podcast, you could tell when there was like commercial spots or where there were like commercial type breaks where they were going to, but it was more frequent than normal commercials. I have the lowest base subscription on that aspect of it. So I guess I get what it paid for, but, in turn, did it hinder compared to what you were watching? I think so.
Probably, because I believe that I saw wrestling when you saw ads as well. Like, that's I believe that I saw in-ring action especially during Tribal Combat. There's times where I don't think that you were seeing it because it jumped to an ad, but then it came right back for me and probably didn't come back to you or anybody who has a basic with ad subscription. So I'm actually kind of curious to test that out myself, to drop down to like the level below and see what watching it's like next week for me, to see if there's any difference there, because there's different ways to enjoy it. And I'm happy that anybody that has a basic subscription as well can still watch it, because that was kind of a question as well, right? We didn't know if these premium live events were going to be included on basic packages on Netflix. And so now we've kind of gotten that answer that is happening. So I mean, that's good news for anybody who just wants to pay their $5.99 a month. Not everybody wants to pay $20.99 per month for their streaming. And actually, when I think about it too, I'm like, why am I? If I can pay less. But yeah, it was. Randy made a very good point. A spectacle itself definitely has to be spectacular. And to be a spectacle, you have to have the right place, the right time, and the right people. And WWE definitely nailed all three last night. All right. Whether you're talking about the mass amounts of celebrities in attendance to the multiple, I don't want to say surprises, but multiple legends that appeared that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, Randy. We kind of, thought that some of these folks were coming. Some of these folks were coming. And I think we almost got everybody that we thought we were going to get. Correct me if I'm wrong.
100%. I believe we did. Yeah, a lot of people showing up as well. That some weren't surprises, even with the celebrities. Like some weren't because they've been there pretty consistent as of late. Like a Vanessa Hutchins.
Oh yeah,
a couple of surprises like Macaulay Culkin getting the pop of the night. Realistically, wearing the hat and then revealing his face. That was pretty funny. It was pretty good.
Yeah, and Topanga was there too, man. Topanga was there, but she was cheating. I can't believe that we're going to let that stand.
Yes, so me and Greg definitely did pop when we saw Topanga.
In your own ways.
No. Yes. But when I saw her, I was like, yeah, Greg. I was thinking of Greg from Smack Daddies. And if you don't know where the Smack Daddies are, they are here on the Huge Pot the Hub.
I was so hoping, sorry to cut you off, but I was so hoping that Tiffany Amber Thiessen was going to be on camera afterwards. And then we could have had like a comparison battle or a discussion today.
Yeah,
comparison battle. But no, like we said, there's a lot of people there. Randy, should we just get into this, man? I know it was like 3 hours, 8 minutes total runtime here for this first Raw on Netflix. It felt like a little bit longer than that, in my opinion. I'm not saying that in a bad way. It just felt like there was so much that they had to pack into the show that they somehow did.
100%. Let's get into it. It felt like 3 hours to me too as well.
Yeah.
But it was a good 3 hours. But yeah, let's get into this.
Yeah, it was a WrestleMania feel.
Yeah, let's get into this week's Raw from Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California, right?
Heyo, yep, that's where it is. And that arena, I'm not going to get mad about it. You can take it. You want the gimmick, you can have it.
No, I'm just doing it to piss you off, so I guess I won't do it next week.
Oh, I liked it, though. But it was like, okay. So anyways, from Steve Ballmer's baby arena, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Here we are in the Netflix era. There is a giant sheet that is surrounding the ring. Amazing video package goes on, which just encapsulates, I think, everyone's childhood who is watching it. Let's just say this right now. It doesn't matter what era of wrestling that you grew up with or what you know about history. This opening video package had something for everybody. Every era was there. And also, WWE did a very good job of making sure that during the night, they played all of the different Raw theme songs from all the different eras. Did you pick up on that as well?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Good point. And go into, with the cold, they call it the cold open, a little leaked earlier on the day. All I got to say is with these spectacles that are going on and these promos that are going on, they're getting better and better for boxing, for whatever sport it is. But last night, as a wrestling fan, and watching that cold open, and going into what happens after the cold open, and hearing Triple H speak during that cold open, using words like shoot and work, like words that wrestling fans normally don't know or aren't supposed to say or aren't supposed to use, as well as using the word and why I love wrestling so much. And I think he did it like 9 times. The word story. That's what wrestling is, right? And that's what I enjoy most about wrestling. So, unbelievable. I cried. I smiled. I laughed. And seeing all from old to new, going through, showing absolutely everybody that they possibly could. I'm not saying they showed everybody, but everybody they possibly could. and what Triple H, he had to have wrote that, was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was great, and people were definitely happy for Triple H. Apparently, the crowd was chanting "Let's effing go" before the start of the show, and they went ahead and they silenced that, or they swept audio, or whatever the hell they did. I don't know how it's even possible because that arena was just so loud, especially for Triple H, which really just came into the ring and made sure that he is announcing the arrival of WWE to Netflix and just making sure the fans are ready to show him. Show them how loud you are. Show the universe. And really watching this happen on Netflix, I just kept saying to myself, man, there was never a point in my life being a Netflix subscriber that I thought the WWE product would be on it live. Like, it just never, ever came to my mind that this could be a possibility, would get that big or that openly accepted by everybody. And that's where wrestling is now. Wrestling is cool. And you know who makes wrestling even cooler? The mother effing Rock, baby.
Yes, The Rock, yes.
Randy too. He also...
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, the people's champion is here. He is The Rock. He is dressed like a heel. He is coming back from being a heel, but he gets into that ring and he is as baby face as can be. But my lord, and I hate to say it for all of the fans, for the millions and millions, I hate to say it, but this is probably the worst Rock promo of all time. I don't even know if it can be called a promo because The Rock, in fairness, is so excited and has so many pins and needles himself leading into this moment, looking at the history of his family, which is hammered during the show, by the way. Like, at no point in time have they ever been really pushing this history of High Chief and everything like that, showing the videos of The Rock accepting that honor and everything from when he was younger. Like, this stuff just came out of nowhere. But The Rock being there is still great. Like Randy said, we've seen him a little bit recently. So if we didn't see him recently, it would have been even better. But, you know, we have to make some sacrifices sometimes. Who knows? Maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin could fit better in this role. But you know what? He's not in charge of TKO.
100%. He's not on the chair. But Rock came out and was total face hugging people, shaking hands, and I'm like, the last time we saw him, there's a video clip of him beating the hell out of Cody Rhodes. Like, I get where he is. He's in LA. He is in his, guess you can say, hometown or whatever it may be. Yes, a sort of built-in face, I guess you can say, good guy. But it made no sense to me. I did enjoy that they went back and explained the hierarchy of the family. But
yep,
again, it just wasn't that great. He seemed like he didn't know what he was going to say before he was out there saying it. And I don't know. Maybe everything changed at the last minute. I have no clue. For some reason, I think it did, because what happens a little later, I'm still confused. I'm going to ask you a little later when this point comes up. But
okay,
it's it started off great with Triple H in the cold open. It went to this where I was like happy to see everybody was happy, I guess. But I was like, what does this have to do with the last time we saw him? So
it really had nothing to do with it at all. There was no continuation from Final Boss or anything like that. There was no continuation. He came out to heel music as well, which is something that you also have to pay attention to. So it was very confusing. But if you are a brand new fan, which is obviously what WWE and Netflix are aiming to do with this partnership, this is maybe something that's necessary for you. Oh, it's The Rock. I know The Rock. He's from Hollywood. He's in movies. Oh, he was a wrestler before as well. Amazing. There's going to be other people like The Rock on this program. Amazing. But he definitely came out and he gave out this pure vibe of nervousness, which is something I don't think I've ever seen in his career.
100%.
Like, even when he was babyface and people were telling him to die, he wasn't nervous in the role. But tonight he was definitely nervous in the role. Definitely nervous, excited, whatever you want to call it. And even like thanked Cody at one point, right?
Yeah, calls him out, gives him a hug. Like, what the... I didn't get it. Maybe it's the Red One effect like he just was a hero in Red One. I have no clue. People are supposed to watch that to this because it was on Netflix, right? So I have no clue. Continuation story from the Netflix world, I guess.
I think it's Amazon Prime, actually. That's
Oh.
the craziest thing. Like, I think it's Amazon Prime, and they do reference, there's a few Amazon Prime references also during the show, right? Like the Red One is mentioned. And The Miz also drops a line too about Ricky Stenicki, which is not a Netflix movie for John Cena, right? So, anyways, 30 minutes here into the show, we finally get to our first match, which is, in my opinion, probably the best, if not one of the top matches here of the night. It is Tribal Combat, it's Solo Sikoa, and it's Roman Reigns, and it has a huge fight feel to the point where, like, these guys have to do this again. And I have to be honest with you, dude. I'm a little surprised with how this all turned up. I am a little surprised about the results, actually, of every match tonight, because it's clear what direction Netflix was trying to go in with this episode. And maybe they achieved that. But for like the wrestling fans who have been watching these storylines develop the last 6 to 12 months, or even further than that when we're talking about the bloodline, there was a little bit strange results. Do you agree with that? Do you think the results were a little bit more for like the common fan, or were they for the super fan, or were they for both?
Well, I would say the common fan, like you just said, but yeah, to them, I don't know, 50-50 I'd be on that, on with the results of some of the things, but definitely this match, like you said, it was absolutely great. I was honestly thinking something else, or there'd be some different type of outcome to continue this story a little more, because I don't know where it leads off from here. But I'll talk about that after you.
Yeah. So the match itself is fun, man. Everybody knows it's Tribal Combat. Anything goes. The fans are hot for it. The fans want tables. They want chairs. They want everything. They're not going to get ladders, though. I got to mention that right now. Roman Reigns is making it painfully obvious that he is either sponsored by Nike himself, or WWE now has some partnership with them with the shoe choice that he has in the ring. Fire shoes, though. I got to say, nice kicks. Maybe we got to start doing a different podcast just watching the shoes that Roman Reigns wears. And you know what, Randy? We would only have to do that episode like once a month, is what it seems like, which we'll talk about afterwards too here, right? Which, because we talked about this before, keeping people a spectacle, keeping them special, making sure that they're not constantly in your face. Not everybody has to be Seth Rollins there all the time. Anyways, back to the match. Two are just absolutely beating the batukas out of each other. We got Paul Heyman at ringside. Our first near fall happens with, of course, a member of the bloodline coming and interfering with it. It's Tama Tonga. I'm like, okay, Tama Tonga's here. Randy actually and I were on the phone at this very moment, because I'm like, bro, Fatu's coming. Fatu is coming to, like, he has to be coming. He's coming to Raw. Like, give us Fatu. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, give us Fatu versus Braun Breaker immediately. But Fatu is there in the ring too, man. He looks absolutely great. Amazing on Raw. Amazing on the Netflix era. We get some low blows in here, more and more false finishes. But as this is all happening, the first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, OG Bloodline, who's not booked? Because whoever isn't booked is coming to save. And here comes Sami Zayn, not booked tonight, and Jimmy, not booked also. So for once, and this is also kind of crazy too, when we talk about WrestleMania and the ending there, right, with the Avengers of the WWE coming to smite the Bloodline, the end of this match was almost like the reverse, but it was all your like favorite Bloodline characters coming to save good old Roman Reigns.
100%.
Good old babyface Roman Reigns. The fans love it. Roman ends up getting the win here and gets the Ula Fala put on him by The Rock afterwards. Again, to Randy's point, there's numerous times where I think to myself, it's far too obvious to have Roman win here, because there's more money in Solo winning and continuing the storyline. Because with Roman now winning this, where are we going? I don't know where we're going to go.
Let's go just a little before the pin, though, because there's two people that actually showed up out of the blue that I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, there was Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
near the end there, and gave a stunner, which Roman kicked out of. And then Cody Rhodes obviously going up against Kevin, which that takes him out. Like, what part of the bloodline? I guess not. Kevin Owens, wants the Roman done, whatever it may be. So I can see something going on afterwards with that. But you're right. With this match, it was absolutely great. Where's Tongaloa, though? If you want to make a little odds even, where's Tongaloa? There is no sight of him. But Roman getting his Ula Fala, it just seemed it went too quick. Like, where can Solo go on from here? He has to, like, if The Rock gave him the Ula Fala, and it doesn't make sense to me. Like, what happens to the new bloodline from here? What are they going to be called? The Line? Blood?
I have no idea where they're going to go with them. If they have nothing of value, then how can they be deemed as valuable or, like, even legitimate threats anymore? Like, I don't really see it, right? So that's why I thought for sure you would have Solo win. You would try to push this to, I don't know, at least Survivor Series or something. Another Roman and Solo match, maybe on a PLE level, but this definitely was the same level of PLE. You're going to see a lot of changes tonight, folks. A lot of changes in the dynamics of the storyline, but it's going to be all towards the benefit of the faces.
Yeah, which is weird.
So, Randy, do you think that the Netflix execs, and again, ultimately, this show is being run by Triple H. It's being run by the writers, the producers of the show here for WWE Raw. But do you think the Netflix execs were like, we want a feel-good show tonight?
Most definitely. Do they have a piece in this? I obviously think they do. There is probably certain things that they'd like to see. I wouldn't say that they want, because when you're in that position, you say, I would like to see this. And then the other guy goes, oh, okay, that sounds like a good idea. But it hasn't happened in a long time. Like, I get where like bad guys do realistically run the story. And Cody Rhodes, I guess you can say, at WrestleMania was the last feel-good moment. But when you're doing something new, it should always start off with feel-goods, right? You don't want to be bitter about something starting off, right?
Yes.
So I guess in a way, I do believe what you're saying is true. I do believe Netflix had some type of inkling or little hand, the pinky. They were squeezing in I'd like this guy to win. Here's a bunch of bananas type thing. They sold. Sure. Roman? You want Roman? R-Truth can win the belt tonight. No, I'm playing. But I do believe that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, like, when I see the rumblings on the internet, a lot of people are in the same boat here. Like, that's it? Like, nothing else happened? Heyman didn't turn? The Rock didn't, like... Even after doing that whole face promo, if The Rock came down and beat down Roman Reigns, like setting up a Roman and Rock match eventually, like that would have changed that whole opening promo for me for The Rock. If he came out and pretended to be a babyface and then came back to it and was like, I'm not fucking changing anything, and just beat the crap out of Roman Reigns and I'm the tribal chief, like that continues the storyline. Now, we see it in a vignette later on, but I might as well mention it now that Paul Heyman mentions to Roman Reigns, when can we acknowledge you, my tribal chief? On what date can we celebrate you? Roman says it's going to be January 27th. So we're going to see less and less Roman Reigns is really what it is that we're saying here, right? That's really what it is. We're going to see less and less Roman Reigns, which is fine. Keeping things a spectacle sometimes. You don't need to have everybody in your face at all times.
Right.
Okay.
Can I go one more thing on this too?
Yes, please.
You're right, when you're talking about with The Rock. Like, The Rock put the Ula Fala on him. I'm like, okay, something's going to happen. Then The Rock stands back by the turnbuckle. I'm like, all right, look, Roman's turning his back. Something's going to happen. And then The Rock, like, held the ropes for him. And I was like, oh, no. Then guess what? Netflix ad break. I'm like, nothing's going to happen. Damn, they had so many chances. So,
he says, I love you. He says, I love you to him as well. Like, it's just kind of crazy.
Jeopardy every night on CBC.
But that's it, man. That's it. That's it. They just show a ton of different people in the crowd here at this point. Gabriel Iglesias is in the crowd, aka Fluffy, Mr. Netflix's favorite comedian, I think, honestly. Michael Shea, another comedian, is there in the crowd, but they give him the wrong name for sure. They call him Wale first, which is the best. And then Ashton Kutcher just doesn't get the wrong name because he's Ashton Kutcher. And Ashton Kutcher mentions that Michael Cole and him at one point did commentary for something. What the hell? Like, what am I missing in life? I gotta check this out.
Yeah, I think it was one match, if I remember. It was like years ago, right?
I gotta check this out. And we gotta do some YouTubes, and we gotta put the link here in the episode for sure.
Yeah, and if you haven't liked or subscribed down below on our YouTubes right now, please do. It's youtube.com/@STRAWS. 2,500 subscribers.
Yep, we absolutely killed it with the shorts last night. Thanks to our dearest and nearest Randy here on the other side, putting all the efforts that he does always.
No, it's all with Morgan.
Yeah, it's that.
But yeah, we saw Ashton. Then
it's that area of Liv Morgan that Netflix did their absolute best to keep the camera off of in her introduction.
Yes, 100%.
Rey Mysterio is here in the crowd, which makes me instantly sad. I don't know about you, because as soon as I see Rey Mysterio in the crowd, I was like, aw, I thought we were getting some Penta action tonight.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
I don't know when, but tune in next week, I think.
But you know what? No, you know what, man? You are completely just instantly pushing that Penta is going to be taking on Chad Gable next week. Just because it's a luchador doesn't mean it has to be Penta. It could be Ricardo.
It's not.
He wrestles?
It's not, though.
Okay. No, it's definitely not.
He goes, get me anybody. I'll get you the greatest. Get me the greatest luchador. And after they show Rey Mysterio, it's Penta.
Yeah.
Penta is coming next week. Everybody, I told you so. It wasn't Eugene. It wasn't whoever I said before. The War Raiders new symbol or whatever we said. It is Penta showing up next week against Chad Gable. You heard it here first.
Yeah, the War Raiders are there too. Again, making themselves as biker raider as possible, looking like two Doms in the crowd. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Biker Mice from Mars.
The Biker Mice from Mars are there. And you know who else is here? You know who else is here, folks? It's John Cena. And where The Rock had issues with his promo, John Cena had none. John Cena came into this and he knocked this out of the park. I absolutely love it when he makes it almost entirely clear that there's no chance in hell that he can win a world title again for a record-breaking 17th streak. There's no chance in hell. Unless I win Money in the Bank. Unless I'm in the Royal Rumble. Listen, we all knew that Cena was coming to the Royal Rumble. Randy, I see a scenario in the Royal Rumble with John Cena, like last four. Right. Last four, almost to the sense of like Shawn Michaels when he was insane and trying to get his chance, at the belt one more time. I see this happening with John Cena as well. I would almost like to see an unkiltered John Cena by the time that this is over, doing anything he can to get that one more win after not having one in over 2,000 days.
Yeah, they expressed that a lot. But where is this win going to happen? So he did bring this up, which is very smart. Because everybody's like posting this on the internet. Oh, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Oh, he's going to win the Elimination Chamber. I said it myself. But you know what I think is going to happen, Eric? You heard it here first. If it's right on STRAWS, I don't think John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble. I don't think John Cena is going to win the Elimination Chamber. It's going to come down to the Money in the Bank. And he's going to have to win it there. And I think that's where it's going to be. So, because people are going to be, John Cena Royal Rumble, John Cena Elimination Chamber. I think it's going to come to the very last moment that he's going to have to do it. And then cashing in at WrestleMania. Heard it here first on STRAWS Raw.
Very, very nice, Randy. Very nice. Well, listen, And the Netflix exec said, feel good moments have anything to do with this. He could win the Rumble. He really could win the Rumble. It's as crazy as it sounds. But I also think that that's taking away from so much of your talent that you have there on the roster now. And I get it. Like, you want to have these old stars to bolster your new stars, especially on a new product, especially trying to bring in the not current fans, the brand new fans. You're going to bring in people like John Cena and The Rock to do things like this, one-off matches.
But us as fans, like, does that really matter? Like, I'm pretty sure anybody in the back would do anything to have a part of John Cena in his last year. Like, you know what I mean? You know, not just the money or the merch or whatever it may be, the respect that everybody has for him backstage. Because I don't know if you've seen over the Christmas holidays with even CM Punk said, we got to thank John Cena. Like, everybody was thanking John Cena. So will it happen? 100%. I think he is going to beat the record. Will it be for long? Nah, I don't think so. But at least he will do it. And they should. They should give it.
They should do it. I don't know. I don't want them to take away from anybody's luster by giving John Cena one more time, you know, like on the way to the end. I don't want that to be a thing. But he could also win it, and then Netflix could have the first ever Netflix tournament for the world championship or something like that, right? So it's possible. Anything is possible. Logan Paul is back, folks. He is there on Raw as well. A lot of rumblings. Hey, he said it himself on his podcast. He's done wrestling. He's a dad now. But kind of hard to turn down that nice Netflix money.
Yep. Now he is a competitor on the Raw brand, switching from SmackDown. So yeah, Logan Paul with his nice watch and everything else like that. I don't think he's going to be fighting Connor anytime soon. So
he probably shouldn't, or Mike Tyson, or anything. Just do this. You're putting yourself at risk enough, you know, in professional wrestling. Just do this. You don't have to get punched in the face.
That's right.
That's what we're going to go with here.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking about punches in the face, it is the WWE Women's World Championship match. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Bloody Ripley. Bloody as she can possibly be. Liv wearing her Netflix gear, her red gear. I feel like anytime anybody wears any like special gear for an event, they're like bound to lose. I don't know. 100%. It seems like it always happens. Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, where she wore her Vegeta gear, for example, during the COVID era against Charlotte Flair, lost. So,
you know what they used to do in the 70s? I think even went into the 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. If a bad guy, a heel, were to wear white boots, you can guarantee they're going to lose that night, right? So it's normally a championship match, but that's the way it used to be. But yes, red is another color that doesn't seem to be going good with wins for Miss Liv Morgan. All red, anyways, should we say?
Did we get more near 3 counts tonight than we've seen in a very long time? Does that have to do with Netflix, or does that have to do with the fact that all of these matches had that pay-per-view value to them?
I think you're right on a little of both, but New Japan just finished their Wrestle Kingdom and everything, and there has to be near finishes and falsies and finishers, kick out type thing. But yes, there was a lot here tonight.
There was,
especially in this match.
Oh, this match has had it over and over again. I'm looking at my notes, and it's 1-2, no, 1-2, no, 1-2, no. Liv kicks out. So, yeah, that's what we saw for a majority of the night here. And everything in my head kept on saying, you know, Rhea's here. She's more or less by herself, and it's against the New Judgment Day over on the other side there. How is she going to win? How is she going to do it, Randy? You know how she does it? With amazing tattoos and amazing gear. No, that's not what we do. But Netflix did a very good job. It's funny. Netflix was like, look, you're coming here, WWE. We're going to let you get away with some swearing. You're going to get away with some other things you don't get away with. But the one thing that you're not going to get away with for too long is too many camera angle zooms on the butts of the female wrestlers.
It's good.
No mas.
No more.
So yeah, even when they were introducing Liv Morgan in the ring, she kept on like turning her butt to the camera like she does, her cutesy little thing that she does, and Netflix made sure that they stayed from the waist up for Liv to raise that title before this match here. Match itself is somewhat entertaining.
Oh, really? I like it that much.
No, I'm not going to say that I didn't like it, because I did like it. And I feel like I was on a bit of a calm down after the tribal warfare match. That's what I feel like, right? I feel like that was such a hot start to go into this for the women's match instantly. I just felt like it took away from it a little bit because there was so much in that first match. And there was a lot of booking in that first match as well. A lot of different people running to the ring, a lot of different music. Like you said, KO even making his way in there, which might have even been a perfect time for Drew McIntyre to show up and be like, this is my new group, and we're taking out all Bloodline, OG or new. No, I don't know. We like that. We like that idea, right?
Yes, I love
No? Okay. No. Anyways, like I said here, as we were starting to talk about this show, Netflix wants a feel-good show tonight, and what else feels better than potentially watching Mommy get back on top? And Mommy is back on top as she finally wins this match, not only taking out Liv Morgan, but taking out the nutsack of Dom Mysterio in the process. Rhea Ripley is the new women's world champion and the new female face of Netflix. And you know what, Randy? Who else is better than her?
Liv Morgan. That's all I got to say. But in turn, yes, Liv Morgan actually did kick out a couple of riptides on this, but also Rhea also kicked out a couple of the Oblivions.
And onto a chair as well. So there was added bonuses, and also Raquel and Dom there, right? So there's a lot going on, a lot for her to have to get over here.
Morgan,
and she did.
Morgan did the Three Amigos too a couple of times, and the fraud splash for Mr. Eddie Guerrero. But yeah, I know one person out there is happy. I'm glad you enjoy your Netflix subscription until the end of April, Mr. Arbic. So it looks like you'll be watching a couple of months more. You won. But yeah, I get it. Like, it doesn't matter. We both win. If Rhea, Liv, whoever it may be. But I really wanted Liv to win this.
It just again leads you into that position where you're thinking to yourself, like, what's next for Liv now? Because if she's dispatched by Rhea on this first Netflix Raw, then who comes next? We've watched Rhea Ripley dispatch every opponent for the last 12 months that she's been healthy. Yeah. So what comes next? Raquel?
Io Sky.
Yeah.
Because now Liv can't defend her title. Now it's Io Sky against Rhea, right? So and Io is going to lose again, unfortunately.
Well, like I said, anyways, Dom, dirty Dom Mysterio, that bum ass. I love it how Pat McAfee all night long. Just quick shout out to Pat McAfee, who full on believes that he can say whatever he wants at any given moment. And Michael Cole is doing his absolute best to cut him off before he says it every single time. And this is multiple points of the night. Multiple points of the night. He calls Dirty Dom bum ass Dom Mysterio, which is so great. There's a bunch of times when McAfee swore too. Just a ton of swear words.
I liked them and I disliked them for the majority of the night. Even with the John Cena thing, when John Cena was doing the promo, and he goes, people say it could go to Elimination Chamber, and Pat was like, Royal Rumble, and people could say, "Oh, money, Royal Rumble," and I was like, okay, that's enough, Pat. I love you, but please stop. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
There was one other failure at the start of the show that I have to mention, and it's that we didn't announce the announce team. I'm sure you did it for the people that were in the arena. I'm sure that us as fans knew that it was going to be, Cole and McAfee, but why didn't they get an announcement? Or just be in the, they can't be in the ring if Triple H is there, but, they should have been mentioned as well, because not everybody knows who Michael Cole is. Right. Yeah, a lot of people know who Pat McAfee is because of where he is in media and football, college football, especially, has a crazy fan base. So That was one thing that I thought wasn't mentioned. But again, we talked about surprises we were going to get on Netflix, and it wasn't too much of a surprise. Netflix did go ahead and show American Badass Undertaker on the video screen outside of the arena that was playing the show. So everybody outside of the arena knew that the Undertaker was coming. I think we knew the Undertaker was coming too. I don't know if we expected American Badass Taker to come out and back Rhea Ripley, though. That's kind of something that surprised me.
Yeah, kind of weird. Yeah, she's walking out and Kid Rock starts playing. A bike comes out, circles the ring, and just gives Rhea props and congratulations. I would have put her on the back of the bike or something.
Seriously, why wouldn't you have done that? Yeah, ride her around, side saddle her even,
You let her walk all the way back to the exit. You know what I mean? He comes out at the very, very end. He could have went and picked her up at the ring and drove her out. That would have been much better. But yes, we see the Undertaker come out. Undertaker making a whole bunch of appearances this week. He was on Kill Tony over the New Year's on a special thing.
Oh, wow.
Well. So
yeah, like a world where Biker Taker is riding out of the arena and he stops and he raises that right fist, and Rhea Ripley raises the left fist on the back that has the title in her hand. That would have been a nice way to do it. But they still snuck in the Undertaker there. No words for the dead man. He's like, you didn't pay me enough for that.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, got to make a little analogy here. So, Randy, when you first start dating someone, let's say, right? You're always going to show them like your best, the absolute best that you have to offer. You're going to bring them to like the top restaurants. You're going to bring them to the most entertaining things that you know. Was this episode of Monday Night Raw kind of like that honeymoon phase? And then when we get to next week, people are going to be like, okay, this is going to settle down a little bit. Like, did we blow our load, so to speak, here?
This is full on Bukkake. This is Bukkake. But in turn, yeah, I think, and which it had to be, you're right, they're in the right arena and everything else that is set up. I still think it'll do very, very well coming. And they even announced some matches for next week, right? And it is something to look forward to, but it definitely is not on the level that it was tonight. That it can't be.
No. It can't be. They're still gonna present it as such, though, and we saw that with some of the video packages leading into what we're gonna have next week, right? Speaking about those people that weren't included in tonight's mega event, but are still there and going to be there on Raw, I guess Bayley is here talking to Adam Pearce, saying, "Get it done." So I'm not sure what she wants to get it done, but obviously there's going to be some Bayley trying to get into a title picture one way or another. Here comes Chad Gable, the future star of Netflix. No, not really, but he wants himself a luchador next week. Okay. Here comes Prince Puma.
Prince Puma. All right, I like him. He was really, really good. Mil Martes, right? Bring him back too. Son of Havoc. I heard he's available. But no, it'll be Penta like we talked before. People are saying Rey Mysterio. You guys are on drugs. It is Penta coming next week.
Yep. There you go.
And speaking about stuff of who's there, they actually showed a couple of vignettes. Everybody's there. NXT, SmackDown, everybody's there and partying in the back. So they did show a couple.
Yeah,
but it wasn't really worth talking about.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in the back, also in the crowd. Maybe some seat fillers as well that we started to see a little bit more present in the main event, right? I don't want to say seat fillers, but just plants. A certain aesthetic of human being that probably isn't a huge wrestling fan, but looks good on camera. So Netflix went with it. Anyways, Travis Scott has signed on. He is the WWE Hardcore Champion. But no, in all reality, he is. But he is also... You know what he also is? Heroin. The person who does the theme. Jesus Christ. He's the person that does the theme song for the new Monday Night Raw.
Oh, that's who he is, yes.
So here he is to perform the song.
Nice.
No. He comes out, blunts in hand, ready to go. Here we go, folks. WWE Monday Night Raw. We've got Travis Scott full on taking giant tokes of a blunt, blowing it into the face of a poor father that's next to him who is trying to be excited, but is also like waving it away from his son as fast as he possibly can.
We gotta look it up. Is it legal to smoke pot in California? Like, I know it's here in Ontario, but is it legal?
It is, but you can't smoke
okay.
weed. You can't smoke weed inside of arenas, but you also can't tell him what to do. That's the thing, right?
Okay.
So it's just like anybody else. If Snoop Dogg was in that arena and he started smoking a blunt as he was cutting a promo, they can't say nothing to him about it. They really can't say nothing about it. It's not like I can guarantee you they didn't okay it. I can guarantee that WWE wasn't like, you got to be smoking weed when you come out here, Travis Scott.
Maybe also, it was a grape vape or a mango cherry. You never know. Like, speaking
about like rappers, right? And they also name dropped Kendrick Lamar a few times. The New Day did that. I was like, is Kendrick Lamar going to be one of the surprises tonight? Because that would be tight. And we know that rappers love their wrestling. We know they love their wrestling. So if Kendrick Lamar was there, that would have been great. He shows up, has a stare down with Travis Scott. No.
Sigma.
Not really. Sigma. But yeah, he's there to walk Jimmy Uso down to the ring. And it's funny because when the song Fiend is playing, you can tell everybody just doesn't want to do Fiend. They want to do Yeet, Yeet, Yeet. So they'd quickly change the song and just go right into Jimmy's song. And Jey Uso, my apologies, making his way down to the ring, walking through the arena, walking through the crowd, with the man smoking a blunt beside him. And you know that Jay just wants a hit of that. Like, you know he wants it badly, but he can't. He's got to go into the ring.
And he needs his driver's license back, right? So he's like, I don't want to be caught because then they're going to catch me going home. No, I'm playing.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, the crowd loves Jay. We'll talk about, after we talk about the match, I just want to say something about Jay. But yeah, this was a good intro, I guess. It was different.
It was different. We knew Travis Scott was there. I thought maybe we were going to get a musical performance. That song is actually really hard to do a musical performance for. And most of his music is. Honestly, he uses a lot of auto-tune in his music. But people love him too. But not as much as they love Jey Uso.
No.
They love themselves some Jey Uso. They're eating it all over the place. Here in LA, just yeeting. Macaulay Culkin just yeeted all over the person beside him. Yep. And they didn't talk about it. You know, he already had his moment. They're not giving him more time on screen.
Never.
Okay. We good? Should we move forward to wrestling?
Good. Yeah. 100%.
Okay, cool. All right. Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre are in a match. They has themselves a fight, and Drew McIntyre is just mad at anybody who jumped back to the side of Roman Reigns after Roman Reigns took everything from them. But here they are, still defending Roman Reigns, not on Drew McIntyre's watch. So Drew McIntyre comes into the ring, completely mows down Jey Uso, pins him. We move on. That's the match, right? No, it's not. But for some reason, that's what I expected it to be. I mean, didn't you kind of expect that Drew was going to at least like run through Jimmy here and maybe set up, like you said, that storyline of potentially a group bonding together against the OG bloodline, Roman Reigns, and righting the wrongs of the past? I mean, again, I find myself just super surprised at the end of this match.
Yeah, no. Well, we talk about falsies and everything else at the very, very beginning. There was a lot of this in this match and finishers too, of kicks outs. So, but yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match. The expected person, I thought, won. It seemed a little quick for what the feud really is, though, to me. So, but
it was rushed. It was very rushed. I mean, for a show that had 4 matches on it in over 3 hours, they gave this one 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So they gave it a very short amount of time. Lots of false finishes. Maybe even a little bit of a trip up there at the end spot when Drew goes for the Claymore. Maybe slips a little bit, like just barely clears over Jay. But also, when I saw Jay do the roll up afterwards, I was like, maybe he landed in that position on purpose. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, They're both on Netflix. They're both happy. Trust me. Listen, you're starting a new era. If you are one of the 4 matches on a 3-hour show on Netflix, as everybody is ranting and raving and the world is watching, that's a damn good spot to be in, man. That's almost as good as, say, for example, WrestleMania, in my opinion. Doing like a mid-card match on WrestleMania. Same amount of people watching. The most profitable of TV event of all time for WWE as well. So it was a big night for these guys to be there, win or lose.
100%.
Anyways, like Randy said, this match is just full of false finishes everywhere. Everything's going down there, folks. We got Future Shock DDTs. We got spears. Got super kicks. It's just not going to finish it. So like I already alluded to, what finally finishes it is Drew is just wanting Jey to stand. He's running at him, goes for the Claymore, trips up a little bit, and Jey Uso pins him with a sneaky roll up and gets the hell out of Dodge as fast as he possibly can.
100%. Yeah, roll up for the win, Jey Uso. The question for me is, when is Jey Uso going to win the belt with how over he is? Because there's definitely a point that he might win.
All right, so that was the 3rd match out of 4 for the night. Like we said, it's a 3-hour and 8-minute long show, so there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. Some good, some meh. Some are obviously just trying to push forward some of the Netflix narrative as well, and that's why we got Kathy Kelly backstage talking to Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, cutting them off on their timing because they are with Fluffy, and Fluffy, the man himself, has to speak. Fluffy says, I liked you guys better when you had cereal. Wasn't really that funny, Fluffy. You're a funnier man than that. But he's got like a very branded Netflix and Raw shirt that has like these little black diamonds on it as well, which was just completely throwing me off the whole time as I'm watching it. But he's there. And so is the Alpha Academy, who Fluffy loves. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods still didn't get any time to explain themselves, though.
You're going to be mad. I'd be a little pissy.
There's too much going on this week to have any other nonsense happen, right? Yeah. Like, and that's, again, when we were originally thinking that we were going to get Penta, you think, how could Penta fit into this show? And would you have just tossed him into the ring with, like, say, Rey Mysterio versus The New Day, or him and Rey Mysterio versus American Made or something like that, right? Like, it would have been a throwaway in comparison to all the rest of the matches that we have here tonight. And everything, 3 out of 4 matches have extreme importance tonight, right? Am I right in saying that? I mean, I'm not trying to discredit the last match, but nothing really changes after the last match. The first 2 matches, you kind of have to look at storylines and see where you're going to go from here. After the last match, you're like, you still got an angry Drew McIntyre. He's going to be angry. He's going to want revenge. We're going to push this forward a little bit more.
100%.
All right. Well, I already talked about it before, but they gave us this cool little segment. Randy, did you notice the way that they filmed Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman was very different from, let's say, WWE product? Heavily produced, heavily edited, and also very visually appealing on the eyes.
100%. It was really, really good. Spectacular productions. That's the way Netflix goes.
Yeah, and it was like 1 minute as well. Nothing. I thought he was going to get attacked by somebody in the hallway just because that's what I'm used to as a WWE fan, but that didn't happen. And he went into a locker room where the door just says WWE 2K25.
Yeah. Coming out January 28th or whatever it may be. I think it's the end of this month.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit of the most controversial moment of the night, in my opinion, or at least the opinion of the internet wrestling community online, because here is Hulk Hogan with Jimmy Hart, and he is booed to high heaven in a very, very cringy promo where he is really trying to sell his Real American beer, and that's obvious. He's also one of the many stars who mentions Netflix about 8 times in each sentence tonight as well. Randy, if we didn't know that we were watching Netflix, we definitely knew, like, any time that anybody spoke, Netflix, Netflix, Netflix. We could have had a drinking game where they say Netflix and we take a shot, and we wouldn't be doing the show today.
Yeah, we've been hammered in the first 18 minutes, but yeah, or done, or probably legally hospitalized. But yes, Hogan comes out in I didn't understand this. Like, I guess, can I sort of explain this segment then or whatever?
Yeah, of course, please. Yes.
So yeah, Hogan comes out with Jimmy Hart, just thanking everybody, promoting his beer and Netflix. Now, I get Hogan wrestling, Netflix era, it starts. You're in California. California is not a Trump state. California is not where they like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's name or his beer, American-made beer, is already on the canvas. Do you guys know really why Hulk Hogan came out? And it's reported all over the internet. WWE, not TKO, but WWE is a minority shareholder of American-made beer. They should have waited for Hogan to be back in Florida, Saturday night's main event, whatever, on the East Coast side, and put Hogan out there instead of in a state that hates him. So this was the dumbest move. And I think I sort of said it last week. If they bring out Hogan, it's a mistake. So they did.
And he got booed they made aggressively.
Yes. The only mistake.
And we also live in a world where Jimmy Hart is now buffer than Hulk Hogan somehow. Hogan came out looking like a sack of milk. Yep. And he did that whole vignette before, being like, I'm Rumble ready.
Yeah. No.
Ooh. Please don't.
Shout out to Jimmy Hart. He's like 82 or something, right? Shout out to him. He looks good.
Shout out to Jimmy for sure. Jimmy was not like deserving of that. Even Jimmy is like, whoa, surprised. But I love it too how Pat McAfee has all the booze going on. He's like, wait a minute, like surprised. But like, why would you be surprised? Why would you be surprised? You knew what was going to happen. You pushed it anyways.
Yeah.
You didn't have to push it tonight. Hulk's going to be there. Trust me. He wants those paychecks. He'll be there whenever you call him to come there. He didn't have to come to a state which is completely anti-Hogan and everything that he's done in the past and recently as well. So
it made no sense to me.
And this, keep in mind, us talking about this segment has like, it's not our opinion of Hulk Hogan as a person or anything like that. Right. We've said numerous times how much he means to wrestling. And yes, it makes sense for him to be there at the launch of some great wrestling spectacle. Saturday night's main event would have been perfect. Perfect. This, thumbs down to the ground as possible as you can go.
And the only way, because of the place where it was, and you said it earlier about new people, new eras, new things like that. Yes, bring out nostalgia things. I get it. But Saturday night's main event would have been a better place for him. Just 100%. Because of exactly where the location is. So that's
exactly. All right. Well, Randy, it's taken a long time to get to it. We build up the storyline more and more as we're going into the match here for Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Michael Cole brings up that years and years ago, when Seth Rollins was a young man, he traveled to CM Punk's wrestling school, and CM Punk was impressed by him. However, he could not afford to be in the wrestling school. So that's a great little throwback there, too. A great shout out that they really haven't pushed on WWE television up until this point. Netflix is really hammering the storyline as much as we possibly can. Like all stories, we're going to get heightened definitions of stories, why they exist, history, things like that, because that really matters to Netflix in a documentary style, right? That really matters.
100%.
Now, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, a match that we've been waiting for a long time, especially when Punk came back to us 14 months ago. Unfortunately, got that injury that had to slow that down, slow the process from that happening. But we're finally getting it tonight, and we're getting it at the main event of the evening. Everybody is saying to themselves, and I was in like numerous group chats, they're like, if they just give these guys an hour, that would be great. But we knew we weren't getting an hour. Actually, I'm kind of happy we didn't for numerous reasons. I'm tired, Randy. I'm like sitting there like, man, we got so used to these 2-hour Raws that this third hour is like, whoa. It felt like Raw After Dark. No, it was much better than that. But this is a fight. These two, they don't like each other, man. It's been made very, very clear. This is going to be a slugfest, a brawl between these two gentlemen, and we're going to have a lot of false finishes in this match. A lot of it. We're going to have stolen finishers as Seth Rollins just continues to do go to sleep after go to sleep after go to sleep after pedigree, and the CM Punk just will not die. Is really like the theme of this match. Punk is going to take as many beatings as possible, but he will not die. Randy, what did you think about Punk showing in this match after not having Punk in the ring for such a long time? I mean, what did you think about his appearance? How did you feel he was moving in the ring? What are your thoughts?
I definitely, this wasn't to me a WrestleMania match, but it was great. Like, it was good for what it was. It did tell the story. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine for what it was. The outcome was a little weird to me. Like, you know what I mean? I know somebody has to win to the most part, but it doesn't really, it sort of ends to me. I don't know. What do you think? Like, I have no clue.
A lot of people were thinking that we're going to get a double like disqualification in this match, like a DQ finish, or somebody would have interrupted it or something to let these guys kind of go forward. Because if we have like such a definitive clean finish, where do we go? Where do we go from there, right? And it's not like this was a clean match at all. We have Seth Rollins doing pedigrees onto tables. In the process, he hurts his knee. Like I said, I think he hit CM Punk with 3 GTSs during the match. 1 didn't get the pin, then two in a row and didn't get the pin. Yeah. Which finally leads to the, a buckle bomb as well from Seth. Like, these guys were just throwing out, and I know CM Punk hates this word, but they were throwing out their entire movesets. Yeah. Historical movesets, everything, right? We had a swinging neck breaker off of the top rope from CM Punk, which just looked like, oh man. When he did that, I was scared. I was honestly scared. We were talking about neck injuries before we came on the air, and when I saw that happen, I was like, oh God, don't that be the reason.
CM Punk throwing some curb stomps as well. Like, you know what I mean? Curb stomps on both sides. Mm-hmm. Like, using each other's finishers or signatures, can we say, as well. It was different. And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but we saw a lot of that tonight. So again, it was what it was. It was good though.
It was like what is it? No Mercy, like on N64, right? Stealing the finisher. You got your finisher bar up. Just hit the little toggle in the middle and you can do your finisher. Hit the Z button, you can do the other one, right? So like that's what it kind of felt like to me. It just kept happening during the night. I did like the creativity of the end here itself. Seth being hit first with the go to sleep, and then CM Punk is kind of falling to his knees in the middle of the ring. Seth being sort of knocked out, but just draping himself. And I got to say, the way they did it, it looked really natural. The way that he draped right over CM Punk, and then Punk just powers him up. And man, even as he was powering him up, I'm like, dude, don't do it the way you're doing it, because like he like took some time to like plant the leg and then kind of like hyperextend his knee before it, and then he just said fuck it, and he just powered up as fast as he possibly could, like exploded. That's the way you got to do it without busting your kneecap and blowing your leg out, your ACL. Go to sleep finally, puts Seth down and puts him down clean. Puts him down cleanly in this match. So it was a nice match. I'm not going to say that it's a bad match, but again, we want more of this. And now we're probably not going to get it.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm hoping that we do somehow, some way. Maybe this is where Seth moves on to with Kevin Owens or something to that effect. I have no clue. But yeah, I really want to see more of that, because I enjoyed the CM Punk Seth interactions leading up to this. So it's very unfortunate. Let's see what they do.
No, exactly.
It's a new era, a new day, new time. Like, you never know. We might see more. Maybe they're setting it up for next week. That's how stories are told, Triple H.
It is true. I mean, there's a way to continue it. Drew and Punk found a way to do it. right? So Seth being equally as talented on the mic, promos, everything as Drew McIntyre, if not more. They'll find a way to do it if they want to continue it. It just tonight was a feel-good storyline, and there was at least one point where I was just dying for some type of heel like win. I needed a heel to get some sort of win here because it just seemed like it was too happy.
Maybe later today we'll get a YouTube video of Seth stealing Larry. You know what I mean? To continue this feud or something. Hopingly. So you can get your heel fix, Eric B.
You leave Larry out of this.
Okay. So
you leave Larry out of this. Larry is more protected than Crypto.
Okay. Okay.
No. None of that. Pharaoh is the dog of choice. No. Pharaoh is the cool dog.
Okay.
No. Anyways, listen, our first episode of Netflix and the Netflix era has begun. In my opinion, great episode. It definitely had what we needed. It definitely delivered on everything that they have been promoting. I don't want to say concerned, but I want to see what the reaction is to next week's episode when we don't have pew, pew, pew guns firing at every occasion.
100%.
So, Randy.
Yes.
What do you think about Netflix's Monday Night Raw?
Well, I'm glad you asked. What did I think, Eric B? What did I think of this episode, the Netflix era that we're gladly and happily a part of? We are going to experience side by side as best friends, banana eaters, roast beef meters. Welcome to In This Corner.
Randy.
Let's laugh at it, Randy.
Randy, that's enough. Mr. Randy. Randy.
Welcome to In This Corner with Zane.
Well, Eric B, this week was a spectacle. It lived up to its hype. We had promo after promo leading into this on various different stations, YouTube, everywhere you went. It was Raw is on Netflix. You got pounded so much you would think that it wasn't even on. I was messaging people at 7 o'clock saying, hey, I can't find Raw on my guide. And they said, well, did you look up on Netflix? And I'm like, oh, I forgot. But yes, it lived up to its hype. It was a spectacle. The cold open, the best told story ever in a promo, and I guess like a package that they ever started off with. John Cena on his farewell trip. Chef's kiss. Violin. Roman getting his Ula Fala back this quick. I didn't get, but again, chef's kiss. Rhea Ripley beating Liv Morgan. Bullshit. 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 It's a Netflix era, I can swear, people. Jey Uso beating Drew McIntyre so quick. It's good for Jey. Jey, again, I think Jey's going to be this year's superstar or next. It's coming soon, but they're definitely going to put something on. And CM Punk being CM Punk, winning, putting on a great main event. This episode, out of 5, was a 5. 5 bananas, a banana cream pie. Can't wait till next week when it's gonna be a 3. But no, I'm playing. We'll see how this goes. Hope this Netflix era keeps a rolling. But thank you, Eric B, and thank you everyone.
All right, guys, Randy's in this corner. He's digging it. He's loving every minute of it. He wants a handful of bananas to go along with the show next time. No, it was a great show, guys. It delivered on what it needed to do. It was very good. No, I just sound like Donald Trump there for a second. It was a great show. It was a great show. But no, it was what we wanted it to be. So next week we'll see what we get from it. But as of right now, Raw, Netflix, you guys are definitely a great tag team. Like me and Randy C, right?
That's right. That's right. Best in the world.
You got it. So Randy C, if people wanted to go ahead and message you and talk about wrestling or just ask what type of bananas they should go purchase, how do they do so?
Always purchase slightly green ones so they can ripe it. But you can get us on the YouTubes, youtube.com/draw @straws raw, or
The YouTubes,
or go to Facebook, facebook.com/huge pop radio, the hub. I want to give a shout out to the Smack Daddies too. Go follow them and their huge YouTube channels, youtube.com @the Smack Daddies. I think I forgot to promote them a little earlier. Greg and Brad, Happy New Year. Welcome to 3-hour SmackDowns. Yeah, or you can go on to X or Twitter at Huge Pop Radio, the hub. You can follow us there, or Yes, I Am Adopted, and on Instagram. It's pretty much the same. Eric B, what about you? Where can they follow you?
Hey, go ahead and message me on Facebook, guys. Send me a friend request if you so want to. I've gained a lot of friends actually through doing the show and being a part of the community. The Rob Arbicks of the world, the Gimpy Jason Mitchells of the world, the Sean Burkheads of the world, and to all of the rest of our listeners and subscribers, we appreciate the absolute heck out of all of y'all. So thank you for being with us here every week. Until the next time, please take care of yourselves and each other and continue to live your lives impactfully.
Your comments and questions start next week. Live, love, and laugh. Wrestling. Oh, just live, laugh, and love wrestling.
Deuces! Deuces!